going on? This is Greg with Lit Fitness again, coming back and introducing a new part to Lit Fitness, some informational equipment, informational pieces. I want to talk to you just a little bit about a fantastic piece of equipment that we use every day in our boot camps because they're just so versatile. All right, so this is just a big rubber band, or we call them in the fitness industry a band, a resistance band, and they're awesome. They're continuous, and these are some of the best quality bands out there because they're done in layers. What that means is, unlike a lot of those resistance band tubings out there, if they get a little nick in there, they're not going to break. In fact, I've taken these and kind of cut them in half and then pulled it with all my might, and they still won't break. They're super high quality, and that's one of the biggest advantages to one of these resistance bands as opposed to some of the other tubings out there. And the tubings that I'm talking about are the ones with the handle on one side, and then it's like a big hollow tube all the way through it, and there's another handle on the other side, and it's just like a big, long, single piece, right? So this is all one continuous piece of band done in layers, and I'm going to show you a couple awesome exercises for you to do on your own, as it is a great and very cost-worthy addition to any piece of home gym equipment. So we're going to start this bad boy off in a big circle, just like so, and I'm going to show you an awesome resistance band squat. We're going to step inside of it, just like so, and I want you to bring your arms all the way up to your chest. Now, your chest, you're going to sweep those elbows out, and you want your knuckles pulled down. And show it just like this. You want those knuckles right in line with those forearms, chest out, chins up high. And what we're going to be doing with this movement is a front band squat. So we're going to keep those knuckles good and neutral. We're going to develop lots of good grip strength with that. We're going to bring it down slow, slow, slow. We're going to hold it for just a moment, and we're going to drive to the toes, pop it all the way up. Now, a front squat is traditionally done with a barbell. So some of my gym goers out there might see some of those meatheads out there driving through with a 150-pound barbell draped across their chest or draped across their shoulders. And we're going to be doing this with a band. It doesn't carry like 150 pounds, but it will definitely give you the same resistance. And what I really like about band squats is that they're dynamic. So typically with a squat, when you got a barbell or any kind of dead weight, it gets really heavy right about here. But the resistance band actually gets lighter as you bring it down, allowing you to power through and go with a little band that's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. So this one itself is only about 25 pounds of resistance, 20 to 25 pounds of resistance. But with a typical resistance band squat, you can go for something that's just a little bit more out of your comfort range, just beyond it, to improve that top end portion of your squat. So developing the top end of the range of motion. Bring it down, slow, slow, slow. We're going to hover right above the ground for 2 seconds, drive to those toes, pop it all the way up. So I'll show you what it's going to be looking like, looking dead on. Now with any kind of a squat, we want those feet directly underneath those hips. Toes are facing forward, and the feet are going to be neutral. We want those knees to follow right over those toes, chest up, chins up high, bringing it down, slow, slow, slow. Remember, we want that Saturday night booty, so we're going to stick that booty back there. That butt moving straight back, straight forward is ideally what we want to be focusing on. Move straight back, pop those hips back forward, straight back underneath those hips, or underneath that spine, underneath those shoulders. All right, so a resistance band squat. You can quickly go from the resistance band squat straight into an overhead press. All right, you're going to bring it down slow, slow, slow. Hold it right above the chin for just 1 second or two. Power it all the way over your head. Bring it down slow, slow, slow. So again, an overhead press. So you quickly transition from one exercise to the next. All right, bring it down slow, slow, slow. Keep those elbows pulled out to your 90 degrees, not out in front, but sweep those elbows back, drive it all the way up over your head. Now, if you don't have any issues going on in the neck, you can even improve it just a little bit and bring it behind your head if you feel comfortable. Of course, if you're getting any kind of pain or discomfort, you want to be minimizing that entirely and just going to bring it straight back in front to help reduce that tension and any kind of pinched nerves. All right, so we've got 2 exercises we can transition really, really, really quickly. I'm going to go into a great hammer curl. Holding on to this band, chest out, chins up high, keep those elbows locked by your side, chin up. You're going to bring it all the way up into a curl, pinch those elbows, and bring them down slow, slow, slow. All right, now we're going to minimize the shoulder work. So instead of letting those elbows pop out in front, which is pretty typical, especially when we've got that dead weight, when that dead weight's up there and those elbows come out in front, we're not really working those biceps anymore. Now we've moved all of that weight onto the shoulders. So if we want to minimize that and focus just on the biceps, chest out, chins up. We're gonna lock the elbows next to our sides. We're gonna imagine that we got a rod from one elbow through the body and out through the opposite arm and out through the opposite elbow, locking those elbows by our sides. So you're gonna see them stop right about there, just beyond forearms parallel to the ground. We're still getting the same range of motion. You see, the biceps actually aren't contracting anymore. If I sweep those elbows out in front, we're not, okay? So that's actually an end range motion right there. Chest out, chins up high. We want to make sure, as with any exercise, particularly working the upper body, that we're getting really, really fatigued. We don't drop that neck down and tuck that chin into that chest. That's going to be quickly inviting injury into the mix, and any kind of injury is going to put us out of the game, all right? And whether we're going for weight loss or strength gains or athletic gains, speed gains, whatever we're going for, any injury will quickly take us out of that. All right, so we got a bicep right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to step inside of the band. All right, take a good staggered stance. Arms going right up overhead. I hit the front of the arm, so I hit the biceps. Now we're going to hit the triceps. We're going for a tricep extension. Bring it down, slow, slow, slow. Keep those elbows pulled in tight. We're going to hold it for just a moment. Extend those arms all the way up top. Bring them down, slow, slow, slow again. Chest out, chins up high. Lock those elbows. All right, so I'll show from a front view. When those elbows start sweeping out, especially as we press it up, we're not hitting those triceps anymore. We're getting a little bit more shoulder work out of it. All right, so keep those elbows tucked in tight, chin up high, bring it down, slow, slow, slow. Tuck those elbows in as tight as possible for a tricep extension. Pinch those triceps, bring them down, slow, slow, slow. All right, now from right here, what I'm going to go into quickly transition into a split squat. So I'm going to hold the band right at chest level, chin up high. Bring it down, slow, 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 slow. Hover for just a moment, drive through the back leg. Bring it down, slow, 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 slow. We're going to hover for just a moment right above the ground, power it through, hit the back of the leg. Now our split squat, hitting the hammies. So we got our regular squat in the front, hitting the quads. Now we're getting the hammies in the back of the leg. Bring it down, slow, slow, slow. Hold, hold, hold. Drive it through the back of the leg, power it up. Now you do want to be careful and cautious and make a quick note of where that band is. These bands may or may not roll. They are kind of flat, right? So it's going to minimize any kind of rolling that's going to be going on, unlike the tubing. But you do want to be careful, and you don't want that band to just fly up with that top heel. All right, we don't want that band falling or rolling right over that heel, slapping you in the back of the head. That's not a good thing at all, right? All right, so we got a whole bunch of quick exercises right there. Just a really quick workout, and something that I love to use. I use all the time. You can also adapt these bad boys for all sorts of speed and agility work. For instance, I got a pivot point right here. What I'm going to do is just wrap it around really, really quickly. All right. I'm going to get inside of the bands, and what I love to do with this is a great warm-up as well. We're going to tuck that right around the waist. All right, so I've got a pivot point or an anchor point where I just wrapped it around, pull that I got back here. I'm just going to get a little bit of tension going on in the band. I'm just going to go for a jog. All right, I love this movement because it actually emulates more like a treadmill. All right, whenever you're on a treadmill, you're actually moving those feet, right? They hit that moving track, right? And they scoot backwards. The band gently pulls you backwards when both feet are in the air. All right, so you pop it up, it's going to gently pull you back just a little bit. Pop it up, it's going to gently pull you back. All right, so that's what we're going for out of this movement. And you kind of emulate, like I said, running on a treadmill. Very, very cool. And then, of course, you can also get lots of core stabilization out of this. So I'm at a pull, sweep it out. I'm going to hit the core just a little bit. And I'm going to go with just a regular plank. We're going to hold this band right at chest or face level. Squeeze those glutes. Belly button pops in tight, tight, tight. We're going to tuck those elbows in tight. We're going to hold the band right at forehead level. We're getting a little bit of dynamic core stabilization. Now, this is one of those movements that's fantastic at minimizing lower back pain. In fact, you may have heard this statistic. I definitely mention it a lot in our boot camps, that out of all the people that have lower back pain, up to 80% of those people can minimize or completely get rid of that